Hi there, it's Donovan, and welcome back to, I took a note, I can count, yes, episode 40 of The Special Hour, joined by my co-host, once again, Mr. Dean.
What's up, everyone? It's Mr. Dean. We are here with episode number 40. As I said a few episodes ago, we're slowly entering into like the midlife crisis era of the special hour. So buckle up for that. Me and Donovan might go buy some Corvettes and have some youthful indulgences to try to like get in touch with our younger side.
Yeah, so we could spend our final days before we disintegrate like fossils and go into museums because we're so old. This podcast is so old now. Thank you for being with us for this long.
No, seriously.
Unfortunately, we did not have a podcast last week. We were just very busy. But we're back. We're back at it again with a very fruitful episode, I can assure you.
Yes. But before we get into the main subject of this episode, Donovan, what have you been up to this past week? Has anything interesting been going on?
Yeah, so
okay, cool.
There's a lot of work. Basically final project stuff, and I filmed that sword fight thing, and that was probably the only highlight. And other than that, it's just been I've been drawing, and I have to make a model very soon tomorrow.
I'm still sad that I didn't get to be the actor for your sword play.
Hop on over to Chirac. We can figure something out. That's all. What about you?
Yeah, I've been doing school stuff as well. Final season is starting to approach. So like right now I've still been working on that documentary project I think I mentioned last episode. So that's been going well. Another thing, if you follow me on YouTube, you may have noticed this, but I've slowly started to make the pivot to short form content. Well, maybe pivot's the wrong way to putting it because it's not like I'm abandoning long form. Like my current upload schedule is, as of right now, planning on staying the same. I'm just incorporating short form as well. So YouTube Shorts I'm posting on there, and I've also started a TikTok and Instagram. So I updated my LinkTree with those, so feel free to follow me on there. Although if you follow me on YouTube, it's the actual shorts that I post on there is the same that I post on YouTube Shorts, but that's up to you. Other than that, nothing too crazy. I did hit 2,000 subs, so that was kind of absurd. But yeah, thank you so much though. Yeah, to everyone that subscribes, it really does mean a lot. It's the reason why I'm still able to put as much time into the YouTube videos as I do. But anyway, with that being said, before we get into it, also there is a segment that we do on the show, right, Donovan? I think.
I think.
Allegedly,
let me check my notes again. I have a little bit of dementia.
Yeah. So this is Special Selects. So for anyone that is new to the show, it is just where we talk about what we've been playing over the past week, or if you haven't been playing anything, maybe things you've been watching, listening to, whatever. Donovan, what kind of media have you been engaging with over this past week?
I've been playing. I've been living the dream. Tomodachi Life, living the dream.
Oh, don't get me started, dude. The amount of FOMO I've been having.
Oh, dude, you don't have it.
No, because I've been because this past week or so,
you've been working.
I was so busy both with school, but also with kind of working on the pivot to short form that I haven't really been playing a lot of games in general. But I've been seeing, dude, all the posts on Twitter about Tomodachi Life, and it looks so fun.
It is very fun. There is zero filter. We thought that there might have been no filter in the demo. No. There is zero filter. I've going
seen slurs.
Hog wild on Tomodachi Life. It's so fun. I don't even know how I have time to play the game because
I don't either.
It's like the only game I've been playing just in short bursts. Thank God for the Switch 2 being handheld, because whenever I'm waiting on a 3D print, I'm just whipping it out. The Switch 2, I mean.
Yeah, maybe don't say that.
Not on the train tracks, but in my model shop. I've been whipping it out and playing some Tomodachi Life.
So I have a question. Am I on your island?
I need your me. Give me your me.
Donovan,
you.
Stop being a loser. Yeah, let me just give myself to you. No, Donovan, stop being a loser. Just make me from scratch. That's part of the beauty, is the fact that you have to be like, okay, let me decide how to make Matthew in my island.
Okay.
Donovan, you know what I look like. There's no excuse.
What I've been doing is getting other people's me's and keeping it lore accurate. I'll make mine for you, or I'll make you for me.
No, because I want every week whenever we come onto the podcast, I want to hear an update about what is my me up to. I need to.
Yeah, I've been trying to get. I've been trying to get a lot of people on my island, real and fictional. I've been trying to fuck Samus, but then this stupid chud walked in the way.
Okay.
Yeah, super fun. It's like you can't say that sentence in any other game.
You really well. I still can imagine you saying that sentence in general, just knowing you. But you are right. That is the game where that can happen. So.
I guess another thing that I guess I'll go over this briefly, non-game related. I've been watching this show called Maul Shadow Lord, a new Star Wars show. At first I heard people saying, "Oh, it's actually pretty good." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm a little bit wary about Star Wars nowadays, but this show it low-key is hype and aura moments, but I kind of love that, and it's really cool. And I love Darth Maul in this show. He's really cool. So I don't know, if you're a Star Wars fan, I recommend Shadow Lord. And also the art direction is actually phenomenal. It's so beautiful. One of the best looking animated things I've seen. What's on your special selects?
Yeah, okay, so like I said, I haven't been playing a ton. So this week I'm actually I'm gonna pass it over to music instead of gaming. This is new because I've talked about how I'm a big music person on the show, but normally I don't really talk about it since it's a gaming podcast after all, even though we occasionally like to have very non-gaming related conversations. But anyway, I remember I was wanting to mention this the previous episode and I just forgot to, but the Strokes just announced that they're coming out with their first album in 6 years. I think it's supposed to come out like this summer, called Reality Awaits. I was listening to more of the Strokes' discography and I forgot about how much I like the band. They have a lot of really good songs. If anyone wants any recommendations, if you're not familiar with indie rock or anything, check out like Someday is a banger. You got You Only Live Once, Machu Picchu, and their most recent album, The New Abnormal, is like one of my favorite albums of all time. You got like Selfless, Ode to the Mets, Adults Are Talking. Donovan, have you ever listened to the Strokes before?
Probably have to play me a song and then maybe I'll recognize it, but I'll just sit in the back and I'll just nod my head.
You know, after the podcast, I'll put you on because I cannot let my co-host not know the Strokes. That's unacceptable. All right, but anyway, with that being said, we have this is probably going to take up the whole episode, so I think we should probably get right into it.
Welcome to Bracket Breakdown.
Yes, we are stealing Pat Nat's show for this episode. Shout out Pat Nat, like for real. If anyone likes the concept from this show, if you go to Pat Nat Games, who was previously a guest on the Special Hour many episodes ago, we did a similar concept with him, but he has a whole series that I was previously on. Yeah, so basically what we're doing for this one, though, is we're going to be ranking 16 of the best Mario Kart tracks from the series history, although most of every single one that we selected is from Double Dash or a more recent game. Sorry, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled. And yeah,
no
these are laid out.
Super Mario Kart tracks?
Yeah, no Mario Circuit 4, Donovan, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh, I noticed you also didn't put any 64 tracks.
Yeah, well, that should not be shocking. And also, because it's the Special Hour, though, just be prepared for us to use some pretty unconventional grading, like a pretty unconventional rubric.
Yeah, what's our rubric? Let's establish something.
You're right, yeah. So I think for the most part, I'm still going to talk about like how good I think it works as a track, especially because like I have a long history on YouTube of analyzing Mario Kart tracks, whether it be like making a specific breakdown of one single track or doing a ranking or whatever. So like I definitely want to attack it from that angle, but I also want to be goofy with it too. You know what I mean? Because like if you come to the Special Hour, you're not here for seriousness. You know what I mean? You're here to have a little fun, and I want to have some fun. So like I say, if there's any random thing you want to note about the track, like feel free to bring that up.
Like oh god, the water is so nice or something.
Yeah, whatever.
The hype and aura moments you can get from the track or something like that, and then sprinkle in some actual design philosophy in there. That'll be our rubric for today.
Right, and obviously, as everyone knows, it's not a subjective list. Okay, so if you disagree, it means that you're wrong. So keep that in mind. With that being said, do you want to go and get started?
All right, let's start from the top left. We got Wii U, Mount Wario and 3DS Rainbow Road.
Yeah. So, well, okay. And also, so right away, we have to go ahead and re-clarify something because we're that unprofessional. So, like with 3DS Rainbow Road, are we specifically talking about the original or are we talking about the remake in Mario Kart 8?
Oh, I completely forgot it was in the Booster Course Pass.
I mean, okay. What are your thoughts on the remake? Because like I have my own opinion. I think the original is the definitive edition of this course. But if you want to represent the remake, like you can plead your case for which one you want.
I don't think there's that much of a difference between the two, so I'm kind of indifferent. Other than I think the original has cooler looking colors.
Yeah. So okay. So we'll talk about the original. Yeah, because that is one thing with the remake. They made the moon section way darker for some reason, and I've never liked the way the moon looks in the Mario Kart 8 remake. With Mount Wario, this is what's interesting. I wasn't even purposely laying it out like this, but these are both 1-lap tracks. Mm-hmm. So Mount Wario, the first 2 laps, the first 2 sections are really good. I'm not a huge fan of the 3rd lap. Like, not that I don't like it, but I do think that as a finale, it feels very linear. Like, I feel like it doesn't feel like there's as much strategy going on. It's just like a very climactic, like you're racing down the mountain to the finish line. So it's not bad, but I think that track is kind of carried by the first 2 sections.
Yeah, you're just racing downhill, and then there's just one curve, and you can take a mushroom shortcut through there. But sometimes I feel like that's kind of cheap and lame, so not the greatest finish.
And 3DS Rainbow Road, I think, is more consistent from start to finish. I will say, you just mentioned like the shortcut at the end being kind of tacky. Pretty sure in the original you could use a mushroom on that final turn and kind of jump over like that big gap. I think I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure
in
that
3DS
was possible.
Rainbow Road.
I think I don't know. Okay, don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure that was possible.
You see, I'm a huge sucker for this specific Rainbow Road.
Why is that?
Love the music. I love how it's actually on different planets. You're planet hopping, basically. I love that.
That's true.
Yeah, the music kind of carries it. I love the colors of the original, and I'm also, this is probably partially why I like intermissions more than most people. I'm a big sucker for the continuous lap courses. 3DS Rainbow Road and a future course that we will talk about really solidified why I love these continuous tracks. It just feels like a massive journey. And in this case, a galactic journey that I really appreciate. So it's kind of for me, it's a bit of the hype and aura moments.
What a thorough dissection of the track. It's hype and aura.
Technically wise, I like that you go around planets and spin. The moon section is really cool. That part where the tube curves, that's kind of neat. And then you fly over some tracks and you just finish with that really, really long turn and just a straight dash to the finish. I don't know. I like that. But as for Mount Wario, I think Mount Wario is a little bit more difficult, and I think some people might like that. I would agree. More.
So with Mount Wario, specifically the most difficult section that comes to mind is that forest that leads right before the finale.
I fucking hate those trees.
Yeah, and that specific section is brutal because if you fuck up on it, it's kind of hard to come back during that lap 3, and that is part of my issue with that final section, because it doesn't feel like it gives you the ample amount of opportunities to make that dramatic, comeback if you fall behind. If there's anything that's going to push me towards voting 3DS Rainbow Road, it probably would be that. But to fight for Mount Wario, obviously the visuals are great for 3DS Rainbow Road. Mount Wario has a case for being the most visually beautiful Mario Kart track, period. Probably in the top 5. It's a gorgeous track, even amongst a game filled with gorgeous tracks. So visually, it easily has that. Just like how you were saying, 3DS Rainbow Road feels like a journey from beginning to end. Mount Wario also does, except it's not like a cosmic journey. Instead, as the name implies, you're literally going down a mountain. One thing that we maybe could look at is how derivative it is of other snow tracks like DK Summit, even though obviously it's not the same thing. I could see an argument that DK Summit is a better designed track in some ways.
Yeah, I was about to say, does feel a little bit similar to DK Summit, and sometimes I get the names mixed up. Rainbow Road's like everywhere, but I guess this Rainbow Road, what it has over the others is that that planetary hopping.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, I'm kind of leaning towards 3DS Rainbow Road because and I'm a big Mount Wario person. It probably is my favorite track at the moment from Mario Kart 8, but 3DS Rainbow Road also is probably my favorite 7 track, and there is no denying that it is like the epitome of Rainbow Road in terms of, once again, not to be like brain rotted, but like it is the most aura'd out Rainbow Road course. So
yeah, I feel the same. I feel like it's a more compact, condensed, overall better version of like the Mario Kart World's Rainbow Road.
So do you want to advance 3DS Rainbow Road onto the next round?
I think we're advancing 3DS Rainbow Road over Mount Wario. Like this was a hard first battle.
Ooh, okay, so this is one that's very important that we distinguish which version of these tracks we're talking about. I think that the remake in Mario Kart 8 is the definitive edition of both. So do you agree we should just use Mario Kart 8 for both of these?
I agree. I was beginning to forget if there was any difference between DS TikTok Clock and 8's.
Yeah, so with TikTok Clock, I think the difference is mainly graphical, unless if I'm tripping, but
I think
with
it
gameplay,
is just graphical.
Yeah, because DS still had the whole mechanic of the shifting pendulums. You're having to dodge like the hands on the clocks and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Both of these are phenomenal tracks, and both of these were already great in their original editions. I really like the compact feeling of Daisy Cruiser. I like how you have that dining room area with the table shifting around with the tide, and especially how in the remake they actually made it so people are sitting at the tables. I feel like that was a really funny omission from the original track.
I don't know. I don't really vibe with the water section where you can accidentally fall down into. I guess that's like the punishment area, like the baby jail if you fail the turn.
I guess
I don't know really vibe with that.
I will say though, I do think they handled it better than how we've seen them handle it with other tracks. For example, DS Bowser's Castle. For anyone that's familiar with that track, there's this spinning what would you call it? This spinning tube that you drive on, and if you fall off, you get sent down to the smaller area that's way longer than the normal route. So instead of it being like you're falling into lava and then like Heat 2 picks you up, it does kind of punish you. Except with Daisy Cruiser, it's not nearly as punishing as Bowser's Castle was. And in the remake, I think it makes more sense because it's playing with the whole underwater driving mechanic. So I can forgive that more,
I guess. But why is it in that weird specific square to the right?
Yeah, that I don't know. Because I've always wondered. Okay, so this is something where I don't remember off the top of my head. Is there any practical use to going in that room? Is there like an item box down there that you can't get whenever you're?
I think there's some item boxes when you're coming out of it, but really it's just to slow you down because you're just falling down vertically and you don't get anywhere.
Okay, well, see, so my philosophy on it is if it is just slowing you down and that's all it's doing, then it's not good track design. But if there's some kind of like nuance to it where, maybe they throw an item box down there that gives you a specific item, so it's like a risk versus reward, or maybe you're not even getting a specific item. Maybe you're going down there and it's a sandbagging track. For anyone that doesn't know, sandbagging means you kind of lay back in the back of the pack and then get good items to make it come back later on. If it's a track that's designed for that, sometimes sections like that could be beneficial. In this case, I don't know off the top of my head what specifically you're getting by going down there, particularly in the Mario Kart 8 remake.
Really, if you don't go down there, you still get a set of item boxes, and if you do go down there, you also get a set of item boxes. So, and
both of these tracks, I think that one of the strong suits of both is that they have great theming. Daisy Cruiser is very obvious. I mean, you're literally driving on a cruise ship. It's fire. TikTok Clock, I have always loved this one because it takes a level that I hate from Super Mario 64 and it actually makes it fun. I think that's really cool. I like the music from TikTok Clock. I like how it has this like frantic like dun dun dun. It's very like staccatoed in that way. It's really cool.
For me, this is an easy win for TikTok Clock. I love how frantic it feels. I love the spinning clock parts and how you can trick off of them as well. There's lots of trick potential there. All the pendulums shifting. You're basically, it almost feels like you're racing against time to get through those pendulums before you hit them, or maybe a shell is coming right behind you and hopefully you can get that pendulum to block it. I love that. And at the end you can also again trick on all the gears parts for a little bit of a boost, and like the theming plays so well, I feel, to the gameplay, and I think
true.
It's an easy win.
I do also like how with Tick-Tock Clock there is that extra strategicness to like deciding, not even deciding, but paying attention to which of the gears is moving forward and backward, in a similar way to how a track we'll talk about in a minute, but Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii has the escalators, and you have to pay attention to which one is, the way that'll help you out. Tick-Tock Clock is a similar mechanic that's pretty cool. There's a lot of like tactileness to the track. There's a lot of like dynamics, a lot of things moving around, which whenever done tastefully, I've always liked in, courses. So yeah, I as much as I like Daisy Cruiser, I can agree with bumping up Tick-Tock Clock. So next round, is it okay if I announce this one, Donovan? So we have Wii Maple Treeway versus Great Question Block Ruins from Mario Kart World. This is a tough one. This is like low key like a Final Four matchup.
Dude, Maple Treeway is such a vibe. I want to live there.
But Donovan, this is not which Mario Kart tracks we want to live on.
Question Block Ruins is really fun.
They're both fun. That's the thing is, so Maple Treeway, I mean, I don't want to keep saying like, oh, this track has great theming, because like, I mean, all these tracks do, but Maple Treeway has like some of the best theming even on this list. I feel like it's so genius having an autumn aesthetic with a forest like this. The music with its like lush mellowness works so well. I love how difficult the track is. It's one of the hardest tracks in Mario Kart Wii, even in the Star Cup, especially whenever you're driving on like the tree branches. And if you aren't familiar with controlling this game, it is tricky. With that being said, Great Question Block Ruins.
Oh wait, firstly, are we talking about the Wii version? Because in 7 and 8 they removed that trampoline thing at the end.
Oh yeah.
For the glider section.
Or Nathaniel Bandy viewers might know it as the jack off bridge. But yeah, well, I remember in an old video he called it the jack off bridge because you have to like shake the Wii remote to trick. I was talking about the original. I feel like with Maple Treeway, most people agree the original is the definitive edition.
Yeah, I like jacking off right there. It's really cool.
But Great Question Block Ruins, it does a phenomenal job at showcasing the mechanics of Mario Kart World. If you're talking about rail grinding, you have a few opportunities for that. Wall riding, there's that crazy shortcut at the end of the track that involves wall riding. But my favorite part about Great Question Block Ruins is how it applies that like parkour feel that Mario Kart World does so well.
Perhaps the theming is a little bit less strong because it's just floating blocks, whereas Maple Treeway, you got a bunch of wigglers running around. It's all orange aesthetic. The leaves are falling and they get in the way. Something I like about Great Question Block Ruins is that it does feel like a real test of your skills. I really love this course. In one of the Knockout Tour rallies, it's one of the last courses that you race on for the final lap, and it feels like it's all or nothing at this point. You're either gonna hit these tricks, you're either gonna hit this rail, or you're either gonna hit this wall grind, or you're just gonna get second, third, or fourth.
One of my favorite elements of a good, not even just Mario Kart, but a good kart racing track is providing those climactic finishes, like what you were just talking about. I wasn't trying to make it weird.
Why did I need to be put down?
Both of these courses do a good job at that. I like how Maple Treeway has the jack-off bridge, and right after you have a few different like little routes. You have a couple boost panels to the left. Donovan, grow the fuck up. You have a boost panel to the left and the right. You have a few like small.
You're the one calling it jack-off bridge.
Actually, Nathaniel Bandy called it that.
I called it a trampoline.
Well, anyway, I don't know. I think that both, I don't know. Okay, I'm kind of leaning towards Great Question Block Ruins, to be honest. I think, especially because at the moment, I don't even know if Maple Treeway is my pick for the best Mario Kart Wii track. And if that's true, then how could it win the bracket?
The only reason I might be leaning towards Maple Treeway is because of those funny wigglers and the nostalgia. But I think technically wise, Great Question Block Ruins is a great showcase.
Are you fucking kidding me, Donovan? You're gonna make us deal with the process of a disagreement because one track has funny wigglers. That's really why.
Funny little wiggler guys and orange. So yeah, Great Question Block Ruins.
No, I love Maple Treeway. Orange is probably my favorite color, but like Great Question Block Ruins is just so fun. Like I don't know. I would be punching myself in the face if I did not move Great Question Block Ruins on. Next round 4 of the matchup 4 of the first round for the first half. We have Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS. So I guess we'll go with the Mario Kart World version of the track versus Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. And for this one, I say we go with the original, just like Maple Treeway. Airship Fortress. Everyone already kind of liked this track with Mario Kart DS. Although I will say with the original, it wasn't my favorite from that game. I like the theming. I really like how it took this like dark aesthetic on like a Super Mario Bros. 3 airship level. However, I remember not liking the second half of the course as much because I remember feeling like the long turn down the tower wasn't as fun as it could have been. I felt like being on the airship itself was what carried that track. But thankfully, we're talking about the Mario Kart World version where not only is that latter half kind of more bearable with the way Mario Kart World controls, but also the airship, you have some like fun shortcuts you can do with the rail grinding now, which I think aids the track. So Airship Fortress is a strong contender. With that being said, Coconut Mall is my pick without even discussing this. I think Coconut Mall at the moment is my favorite Mario Kart Wii track. I think that it handles a non-linear Mario Kart track design beautifully. There is every section of the track, there are decisions for you to make. You know, if you go into one large corridor of the mall, there might be a few boost panels on the left and right with item boxes. There might be a section you could trick with more item boxes in the middle. Then you got a few escalators you can go up. You know, that intro area, whenever you first enter the mall, is like multiple shortcut opportunities. There's like 5 different routes you can take. So much fun stuff. And I love the parked cars at the end of the track. And
they could have your Mii's and I could scream that
it's
like
so
my
funny.
brother.
Yeah, so Donovan, did you have any defense that you wanted to plead for Airship Fortress?
For World's Airship Fortress, it being a Mario Kart World course automatically gives it a lot of technicality with rail grinding. There's not much opportunity to wall ride, however, and that last section where you're spiraling down, if you get hit there, which is most likely inevitable, you get punished really bad. And also, This is a bagging course where a lot of people just save their bullet bills for the bullet bill extension area. And that kind of leads to a lot of really good placements. And if you don't have a bullet bill or something to defend yourself, you're kind of shit out of luck. And as you're just spiraling down, you kind of know that, well, you either stick to the edge or, I don't know, pray to God that you don't get hit. So that last section is very punishing. And also it could lead to sometimes a little bit of brain dead gameplay, if I'm being honest. But I mean, the music's great, but we're talking about Coconut Mall here. The Coconut Mall theme is amazing. The theming, I mean, yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. The theming is amazing. You have so many different opportunities to just go different routes. The tricks are cool. The shortcuts are interesting. I think Coconut Mall is a lot more consistent.
Yeah, I think this is one that's unfortunate for Airship Fortress because this is like a strength of schedule type of thing. Like it honestly just kind of ran into a really strong opponent. I think Airship Fortress, like most other tracks, it probably would have had a shot at moving on to the second round, but it's up against Coconut Mall, so what can you do? Moving on to the second half, Donovan, do you want to announce this one? Because it's been a few rounds since you've had the pleasure of doing that.
We have Wii U Electrodrome and 3DS Maka Wuhu.
I believe it's Maka Wuhu, but you know.
I'm illiterate, sorry. I love both of these courses.
Okay, I like both of these courses, but okay, you might be, not to make you mad, I think either of these are going to get knocked the fuck out in the next round anyway, so I don't think it really matters. Like, I don't see a world where either of these are surviving the next round. but you know what? We'll still decide for the...
Here, it's been a hot minute since I've played Maka Wuhu, but it's stuck with me all this time ever since not playing Mario Kart 7. That can be attributed to the hype and ore moments this course brings. I think I'm remembering, I think my most vivid memory of it is driving past the castle, and then I think this is one of the better showcases of the glider from Mario Kart 7, where you're gliding down and you see this beautiful sunset, and you have the opportunity to grab more items via this platform that's being suspended midair and then you keep flying down. And then you have an opportunity to use a mushroom cut or to do some tricks all the way to the finish, kind of like a Mount Wario style. That stuck with me all this time, and I really love that.
So in my opinion, Maka Wuhu is the antithesis to Mount Wario, where Mount Wario was very strong at the first 2/3 and then has a weak finale. I think Maka Wuhu has a weaker first 2/3, and then the finale is amazing. I agree. I think that the glider section that rounds out Maka Wuhu is the most memorable part of the course by far. Everything that happens before is fine. You know, you start off, you know, you go through the cave. I forgot the exact name of the cave. If we had Nintendo Hero with us today, he would probably be able to lecture us. You go through the cave, then you like you said, you drive by the castle. That part's fun. I think you get to drive underwater right before the castle, which is cool. But I don't know. It's like, even as a kid, I never really felt attached to either of the Wii Sports Resort tracks. Like it just didn't feel... Yeah, and that's as someone that loves Wii Sports Resort, but it's like every time they apply it to a different game, like they did with Pilot Wings Resort or any other game that it appeared in, it never fully retained the magic for me that Wii Sports Resort had. That's just me, though.
For Electrodrome, it has a really cool vibe. I love the part where you're going onto the anti-gravity section, which I think this course is also a good showcase of anti-gravity. But when you're on that first anti-gravity section, you're driving past and you speed up with the mushroom, you see your trail behind you, and if you look in reverse, you could see a red trail following behind you. It's so cool. And then you have the fork in the road where you can go either red or green. But I don't think there's too much of a difference between those two routes. And obviously this is a much shorter course compared to Maka Wuhu. Maka Wuhu is a continuous lap course. Electrodrome still, although concise, it feels very well-rounded.
Yeah, I do like the aesthetic of Electrodrome with it. It's very unique. There's no other Mario Kart track that really goes for what it's going for, with it being like a rave. I like the very vibrant visuals. It's like kind of, it feels like you're on Molly, or it's not that I would know what it feels like, but it feels like you're just like racing around, just like oh, but like, you know, it feels like you're fucked up, basically. Yeah, the Electrodrome is fun. I probably would vote Maka Wuhu still, because I think Electrodrome, while it's good, the actual design of the course itself isn't as engaging to me. It has the split path on anti-gravity thing that kind of feels gimmicky anytime it's done in Mario Kart 8. I do like the ending.
I think it falls apart at that fork, but then it kind of picks up at the end.
Yeah, I like how it has the gliding section at the end, and then you have an opportunity to do an off-road shortcut. That part's cool. I definitely think Maka Wuhu is the stronger of these two, but like I said, you're going to have to do some pretty good convincing to explain to me why either of the next two tracks shouldn't beat Maka Wuhu in the next round. So to introduce our next combatants, we have GBA Ribbon Road, specifically the Mario Kart 8 remake, versus Dino Jungle. We'll go with the Mario Kart World version. Both of these phenomenal courses. I mean, Ribbon Road was already a really good track in Super Circuit, but what they did with it with Mario Kart 8 was out of this world, turning it into like a children's room with like it being a toy set that you're driving on. Genius. The layout is unbelievably engaging. I love how they have the ripple effect in the road during the middle portion where you're able to trick throughout it. It kind of gives you something to mentally do every few seconds. Yeah, and it is tough. And there are some shortcuts you can do that are actually difficult too. Difficult until you get the timing down, I would say. And then you also have a few off-road shortcuts even beside that. It's also a very fun track on 200cc. It's just difficult enough to where it's constantly engaging you. However, it's not like Neo Bowser City or Bone Dry Dunes where on 200cc it's just brutal and you feel like you have no control. So that's another strong suit of Ribbon Road for me. Dino Jungle, the more time has gone on, I've grown more critical of the original. I think the bridge section, unless if you really know what the fuck you're doing controlling Double Dash, it is so brutal and very frustrating, to be honest. Other than that, the track has cool theming, but what they did with it with Mario Kart World is night and day with the original for me. It's wonderful what they did with the rail grinding, where you're able to drive up like the spine of the dinosaur in the middle and then kind of like make a shortcut out of it. They made it gorgeous too whenever you're inside of like the laboratory thing. I don't know, I forgot what that section's supposed to be. But yeah, the layout's memorable. I think I still would probably give my vote to Ribbon Road, but like I don't really know where you're leading, but if you want to fight for Dino Jungle, you could possibly win me over.
No, I think I was going to give it to Ribbon Road because of how difficult the course can be, but how exhilarating that difficulty can feel. Maybe this is not the best course for casuals, but it feels like at every moment in Ribbon Road you are doing something. You're either tricking, you're either drifting, or you're either in defense or gliding. Every part of this course just feels very thought out, very intentional. It kind of doesn't leave any punches hanging. I feel like Dino Jungle, while a strong course, its highs do not even compare to the lows of Ribbon Road. I mean, what is a low of Ribbon Road? The start, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think that I honestly don't think it has a low. I don't think that there is one. Maybe
the beginning. That's kind of it.
I don't even agree with that. I think that what they did with the remake was every part of it was just an improvement on an already good track. Like they just made the layout so fun with Ribbon Road. I agree. I think it should move on. Do you want to go ahead and move on to the final leg of the first round?
This time we have Wii Mushroom Gorge and DS Waluigi Pinball.
All right. We have Mushroom Gorge. Another track that is really good. I mean, Mario Kart Wii, I've always argued that it has the strongest nitro course selection of any Mario Kart game, and it's, to me, not even really close. Like, I think out of the 16 new tracks, there's only like 2 or 3 that aren't like great, to be honest. But yeah, Mushroom Gorge, it's literally the third track you play in the game, and it's actually difficult, but in a good way. They have this gimmick where you have the bouncy red mushrooms and then the green mushrooms that are not bouncy, but they have like a little wavy quality to them while you're driving on them. One of the hallmarks of Mushroom Gorge is how glitchy the track is, not in a bad way, because I think if you're casually racing, you won't notice the glitchiness. The glitchiness only happens whenever whenever you're really fucking with the physics of the game. So for example, if you trick off of a red mushroom on a bike and you do like a wheelie, if you land on the right angle on the mountain, you can like climb up the mountain. It's so fun, just like fucking around with that feature. It definitely was not intended.
Cut at the end where, or is that in the Wii U version where
it's in both? It's in both.
You can where you can cross that gap very easily.
And 7 too. So with Mario Kart 7, it was possible if you used the glider mushroom. I'm specifically talking about the Wii. I should have clarified this. I'm talking about the Wii version of Mushroom Gorge, because like pretty much all the nitros from Mario Kart Wii, pretty much all their definitive editions are the originals. Maybe the exception being Moonview Highway, maybe. Although I'm not huge on how they made the track like way easier in this. But anyway, that's not even on the bracket, so that's irrelevant.
So I'm not even that huge on Mushroom Gorge. I think I'm giving this to Pinball.
Wait, so why are you not huge on Gorge?
Like Mushroom Gorge just feels it feels like a middle of the road track, Really? It's there. You got some bouncy mushrooms, and that's kind of that the whole cave section is the fun part. Everything before and a little bit of after that, it's kind of just whatever.
I would agree that the second half of Mushroom Gorge is the better part, especially because there's more strategy. Like right after the cave, how you were just talking about, you have that big gap shortcut at the end that's very difficult to do.
I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, but it's hard because you have to like perfectly nail the timing. And the thing I like about that shortcut as a finale shortcut of a track is it actually has an element of risk, because if you fail, then you fall into the pit and then you have to wait to be respawned. So on the one hand, it does cut off a few seconds. So you could have like a last minute, like 5th to 1st finish if you pull it off. If you fail, then you could finish in last in just the same amount of time. So I love it whenever tracks end with like a big risk versus reward thing like that.
I just think the beginning half before the cave is so forgettable. I mean, I'm even remembering that there's even a split path. I never take the left path.
Oh yeah. The left path is pretty much pointless.
I even forget that's a thing, because I think I've taken it like 3 times in my entire life.
Yeah, I'll agree. And I will say, Mushroom Gorge does have kind of a boring aesthetic. And I do think the music is maybe a hot take. I don't really like the music of Mushroom Gorge that much. It's kind of like annoying, to be honest. But yeah, okay, so we can move on to Waluigi Pinball. This is one people love to tout as like the greatest track of all time. I don't necessarily agree with
the theming
that.
is amazing.
Oh, the theming is maybe like the most genius theming of any Mario Kart track, maybe aside from like Coconut Mall or something. So the theming's great. My only issue with Waluigi Pinball is the linearity of the design, because with the exception of maybe like the actual pinball section where you're dodging the pinballs, which is really fun. That's the best part of the track. With the exception of that part, it's all just a straight shot. Like there's not really much decision making going on. That's my main critique of Waluigi Pinball. I mean, visually it's gorgeous. I mean, I'll talk about the remake of Mario Kart 8 because it's just like, I guess, my favorite iteration of the course. Yeah, visually it looks really good. I like the music. I love how I will say in the original, I forgot if they kept this with the remakes, but it has like unique sound effects that are not in any of the other courses. Yeah, it has like kind of like arcadey, like 8-bit sound effects that are really cool. Honestly, I would be willing to put this over Mushroom Gorge on the, like, even though it has that linearity issue, I still have a lot of fun racing on it, and there is no denying that the theming is awesome.
It just feels so exhilarating, dodging the pinballs or racing like side by side with it. I always loved that section when you're approaching the main pinball area, but once you get into the main pinball area, you're kind of like clenching the controller, hoping to God you don't get hit by one of them. It feels great, but I do understand the linearity aspect where you're just following the course. There's not really any shortcuts, and I mean in the pinball section you can just go straight sometimes and not get hit at all. So I can understand that, but Waluigi Pinball just makes me feel alive. You feel me?
All right, so the final round, or I keep saying the final round, final matchup of the first round, we have Whistlestop Summit from Mario Kart World versus Squeaky Clean Sprint from, I forget if it was first introduced in Mario Kart Tour. It
was in the Booster Course Pass.
It was Booster Course? Okay. I mean, Squeaky Clean Sprint, I've been a champion of this track since it first came out. I love Squeaky Clean Sprint. Also, the Whistlestop Summit, right alongside Great Question Block Ruins, maybe my favorite track for Mario Kart World. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about Whistlestop Summit first. The best showcase of rail grinding in the whole game. I mean, that's... Yeah. Do you know exactly which section I'm talking about? Where you're going on the train tracks and you get to just like trick from one rail to another like consecutively. It feels so like orgasmic, Donovan. I love it. The fire music from an amazing soundtrack. One of my favorite songs from the soundtrack is Whistlestop Summit. I love like the theming. It kind of reminds me of like the Great Thunder Mountain Railroad from Disney World. And for anyone that's ridden on that roller coaster, it's a similar like rustic vibe. The whole track is fun, like from start to finish. It's just like a fun layout.
This is like Calamari Desert if it wasn't such a boring desert.
Yeah, it's like Calamari Desert if it was good. Well, okay, I think Calamari Desert in Mario Kart 8 was more fun because they actually made the train section better because you could fly over the train with that's a different debate. Whistlestop Summit's really good. Do you have anything negative to say about that track?
Skill issue on my part. I can never get that final cut with the rail grinding.
No offense, Donovan.
I can't really say there's much of a flaw with Whistlestop Summit. I can't think of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like Ribbon Road, the intro is not the strongest, but like it's not even that much of a problem. That's just the start, man.
Yeah, Squeaky Clean Sprint though is also really fun. I love the theming, especially because it's like we're like as gamers, Donovan, we're not supposed to be hygienic.
Yeah,
I've
never seen a wedding ring in my life. There's a reason why it's in the. Was it a bathtub or I think it's a bathtub?
Yeah, you see like a rubber ducky, and then you go into the bathtub, and you go through like the fucking drain. Like it's so cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, the layout's
I do think
really
that the
fun.
bathtub section though. I mean, there's nothing to do in the bathtub other than to go straight. And it's not like there's a giant pinball in the way to make it more interesting. It's just big, giant waste of land.
Donovan, stop being so anal, dude. Come on. Like, it's... Dude, I love that. Honestly, I want to move on Squeaky Clean Sprint. Like, I love that track. It's so colorful and, like, happy. And the sound, dude, the music's so jazzy and, like, upbeat. It's odd. I'm getting so animated.
I like Squeaky Clean Sprint. I do like how there's like a bottom layer and a top layer to Squeaky Clean Sprint as well.
I like how it's like the sibling of Ribbon Road, how it like takes place in a room in a house. It's so cool.
It has a lot more skill involved.
I don't care.
I think it's a great showcase. I think it's a great showcase of the gameplay possibilities of Mario Kart World and blah, blah, blah. I'm going with Whistlestop Summit.
But wait, no. Wait, we never decided what happens if we disagree. Like what's the tiebreaker?
Heads or tails?
Are we seriously doing it? All right. And also, how do I know that you're not cheating? You could just say the opposite of whatever.
Oh my gosh, it's heads. Oh my gosh, it's Whistlestop. Okay. How are we doing this? Right, we're very professional here.
Yeah, we never really decided what happens in this scenario. You know, all right, fine, we can move on. Whistlestop Summit. It's fine.
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay. I'm a little sad now, but you know, it's like, Squeaky Clean Sprint.
It's okay.
Just
after this, just go to the bathroom and take a shower. And
no, I don't want to do that though, Donovan. I don't want to do that. That's why I like to do it in video game form. So that way I could technically lie to my mom and be like, yeah, I did shower. I just showered in Mario
that's why I play Tomodachi Life, to experience love.
Yep. To experience. That got so dark. So quick.
Okay, anyways.
That's why I play The Sims, so that way I can live a successful life that I'll never have.
So I can live in a house. We got 3DS Rainbow Road and DS TikTok Clock.
I think it has to be 3DS Rainbow Road. I don't know.
I was about to say Hyperdora moments. Yeah, for me, this is purely just emotions.
Well, I mean, I agree though, because 3DS Rainbow Road is one of the few Mario Kart tracks that feels like a like climactic cinematic experience. That sounds so pretentious. There's no way I just said a Mario Kart track feels cinematic
experience for a racing track.
Well, I
want that lingo in like F1.
Well, it's true though. It does kind of feel like that. It feels
and that's why
like
it sticks.
Like it feels like Nintendo is taking you on a ride with Rainbow Road. I like TikTok Clock. I like what it does with the concept that Super Mario 64 originally pioneered. I think the aesthetic is really cool. It has this like dark, you know, and like gritty and, you know, like dot, 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 dot. Like it's cool. But with that being said, 3DS Rainbow Road is probably the best Rainbow Road in the franchise, the best Mario Kart 7 track. It's just memorable from start to finish. So
I think a lot of people could say their like emotions on every single Rainbow Road they've played, but I think for this one specifically, there's just something about it that really pulls at your heartstrings. That something that unfortunately, despite all the technicality, TikTok Clock does not have.
Yeah, okay. All right. You know what, Donovan, I feel like for the most part, we've kind of like reached a consensus, aside from that one round. Next up, Great Question Block Ruins versus Coconut Mall. I hate this. I hate this. I don't want to choose. I feel like I'm choosing between two children. Like, I don't want to do this.
Great Question Block Ruins has a lot of skill involved. And
so does Coconut
it's not like super difficult like a Mushroom Gorge where like 2% of people can make that cut. These are a little bit more obtainable. They're definitely on the harder end of tricks, but they're very doable. I think that's kind of the main identity. And I think that plays well into the mechanics of Mario Kart World. Whereas Coconut Mall, you have the different elevators, you have the different sections, a couple trick opportunities, and you have the funny little car section. But I think the scope of Coconut Mall is a little bit smaller than Great Question Block Ruins. Not to say that's a bad thing, but that's something to consider. Coconut Mall's theming definitely clears, and that soundtrack definitely clears, but...
we didn't even talk about that in the first round. The Coconut Mall is probably the best song of any Mario Kart game whatsoever, period. Whenever people think of the most iconic song from Mario Kart, I feel like a lot of people would say Coconut Mall. Like, even my friends that don't follow Nintendo at all love the Coconut Mall theme. So I think like that's another element to talk about.
Casuals, I think, don't really like Great Question Block Ruins from what I've experienced, but they love Coconut Mall.
Yeah, and I'm not a casual, and I love Coconut Mall. I think because Coconut Mall has it all. Not like that was a bar. Coconut Mall really does have it all though, because it's like I said before, every second of that track there is something going on. It is the opposite of Waluigi Pinball. There is always something going on for you to be thinking about
as well for the other one.
I don't even really agree with what you said though about Great Question Block Ruins inherently having more scope. I think it only feels like it because it takes place in the fucking sky. Like the aesthetic of Great Question Block Ruins is like the sky islands from Tears of the Kingdom.
In terms of scope, it's embodying more of what makes Mario Kart World. And with Wii, what made Wii was the motion controls. And I guess the tricks, which it does have a good amount of. I don't know, this is tough.
I'm firmly in... The more and more I think about it, I am a firm Coconut Maller. I don't even think you could use the argument that Great Question Block Ruins was a better embodiment of its respective games' mechanics, which I agree it was a great representation. So was Coconut Mall for Mario Kart Wii. Both tracks were the epitome of what made their unique games special in their own rights. The only thing Coconut Mall doesn't have for Mario Kart Wii is the half-pipe ramps. That's literally it. And it doesn't need those. Because I also just think Coconut Mall, like Great Question Block Ruins has the climactic finish with the big shortcuts. So does Coconut Mall. It has the really fun finales with the parked cars. Coconut Mall has just as much nuance to the decision making as Great Question Block Ruins does. I would argue it has an even better theme than Great Question Block Ruins does. It has, like I said, probably the best song of any Mario Kart game.
I think the Great Question Block Ruins' climax involves a little bit more skill to make a difference in placements, whereas Coconut Malls, you just gotta avoid your Miis, which just go back and forth.
That's true. I like with Coconut Mall, whenever you've played it enough, you do kind of understand the pattern of how the parked cars move. But I think, like you said, there is kind of a beauty to how Coconut Mall appeals to both casuals and competitive people.
All right, I'll give it to Coconut Mall. Coconut Mall. Yes! Yes! Now we got 3DS, Maka Wuhu, and Game Boy Advance Ribbon Road from Mario Kart 8.
It's Ribbon Road.
Unfortunately, I think it's Ribbon Road. Although Maka Wuhu has that really amazing moment that has stuck with me for years, Ribbon Road it's amazing.
Okay, Maka Wuhu has the good finale. Ribbon Road, the entire track is the moment. Like there isn't like there's not like one specific part of Ribbon Road. It's just the whole fucking track. Like that. I'm sorry. Like I like Maka Wuhu. I know I'm probably gonna piss people off that listen. They're like, wait, you can't put the Wuhu Island track. Yes, I can, and I just fucking did. So,
yeah, we just did.
Yeah, we just did. All right, moving on. The final round of this section, we have Waluigi Pinball versus Whistlestop Summit. This one, to me, is also cut and dry. It is Whistlestop Summit. Do you agree, Donovan?
Yeah, purely because Waluigi, as we said before, is a little bit linear.
A little bit.
Whereas
It has great theming.
Whistlestop Summit has a little bit more options.
Really good theming. I don't want to end this off with like it sounding like I'm giving a fuck you to Waluigi Pinball. Like it's a really good track. It's just Whistlestop Summit is significantly more fun. So we've entered the final four to get all dramatic. All right, so we have 3DS Rainbow Road versus Wii Coconut Mall. Donovan's getting angry. I think 3DS Rainbow Road is the epitome of one-lap tracks in Mario Kart. I think most people would hopefully agree with that. I think it takes that concept and shows you exactly what the possibilities of that formula is. I really like in that game how it makes the gliding sections feel great with the handling that Mario Kart 7 provides you. All three sections are pretty much equally memorable and fun, and it all feels great to control. The visuals are great.
Dude, the 3D of the planets popping in your face.
Yeah, well, and I don't want to go on my entire rant, again, because it would just be derivative of me yapping about Coconut Mall and what makes that track so good. I have a lot of good things to say about 3DS Rainbow Road. I'll let you convince me one way or the other, though, because at the moment I'm kind of evenly split.
I'm evenly split.
Well, Donovan, we can't both
3DS Rainbow Road makes me feel happy, but also
Coconut Mall doesn't. Coconut Mall doesn't. Like dun 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 dun.
I think the journey of Rainbow Road. I think it tramples Coconut Mall. Coconut Mall feels like, another course in the pre. You're moving through it. And then Rainbow Road, you get to 3DS Rainbow Road. Here we are. We're at the end.
Okay, but I think the novelty... I don't think we can just make a track win just for the novelty of it being a one-lap track.
Unfortunately, it has the benefit of being a Rainbow Road.
By that logic, we would have given Mario Kart World's Rainbow Road the top spot because it has both of those things checked off too, but that track isn't nearly as good.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's strip the mall from Coconut Mall and let's strip the rainbow out of the road.
Oh, because it's woke. Is that why, Donovan? You wanna remove? He wants to remove the liberal agenda from Rainbow Road.
Yeah, those damn liberals ruining my roads in space. How dare they?
We just can't go one special hour.
Take away the themings. What do we got? Oh, well, it's kind of hard to take away the theming from the literal fucking planets.
Yeah, well, and I think even without... I think what makes Coconut Mall good goes beyond just the theming, though. I don't think... you could make it take place in a basic circuit. The layout is just genuinely fun in the first place. Not to say it's not fun with Rainbow Road, but I do think if you took away the Rainbow Road aesthetic and you were just in a void, people wouldn't be yapping about it being as fun as it is. And that's not to discount the track. It makes perfect sense that it is more of a journey that you're going on versus just being a typical Mario Kart track. With that being said, it's hard to compare it with Coconut Mall on the front of stripping away its theming, because I think that more so of what makes 3DS Rainbow Road special is contingent on said theming.
To give more defense to 3DS Rainbow Road, without the theming, it still feels like a dangerous track. A course where you can get hit by a ton of stuff or fall off with zero guardrails.
Donovan, to break this tie, do you want me to call up one of my friends and ask him on the spot what he thinks about the track is?
Yeah, sure. Can you get him on the mic?
I'm gonna put him on speaker right next to the mic. I really hope he thinks that. Wait.
Hello?
Yo, Nate, you're live on the podcast right now. We are settling a debate. Is it okay if we get your opinion?
Sure. What's the question?
Yeah, what is the better Mario Kart track? Coconut Mall or Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 7?
Coconut Mall.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
We are moving on. Coconut Mall. So shout out Nate.
See, I didn't have to pull the trigger. Nate did.
Yeah,
Your Honor.
Yeah. So if anyone's mad at us, you know who to blame. Okay, so yeah, that's Coconut Mall, and then for the other side of the final four, we have GBA Ribbon Road versus Whistlestop Summit.
Fuck.
Are we just gonna start every round now with fuck?
Yeah.
I think it
I think I just have more memories with Mario Kart 8 in general.
Well, I was going to say it's hard to say Whistlestop Summit or a Mario Kart World Track because I feel like recency bias is a factor.
You can also say nostalgia is a factor.
You know what? That is a fair point with Ribbon Road because part of its appeal is taking a retro and adding so much like imagination to it.
But it's added so much it essentially feels like a brand new course.
Oh yeah,
Mario Kart
for
8.
sure. For sure. But I'm just saying I think that is a part of the appeal. Is it's like people that grew up with Super Circuit are looking at this like it still feels like Ribbon Road, but it feels like it's like a whimsical reimagining of it. Whistlestop Summit, I'm reluctant to say like yes, this is the better track because we haven't even had a full year with it yet. With that being said, it could on a good day it is my favorite track from Mario Kart World.
These courses both have like barely any bad sections or mid sections.
Yes, but I will say I do think Whistlestop Summit has the higher high. I think that rail grind tricking on that straightaway is genuinely, debatably I'm being so dead ass whenever I say this, debatably my favorite section of any Mario Kart track.
What the fuck? Okay, well, I mean, when I have friends that never played Mario Kart, well, when they enter this course, their minds are blown away by the concept of rail grinding, and it's super simple but a clever way of introducing.
Well, no, but it feels so good, Donovan. That straightaway, it's like it's literal dopamine just flying off. Like it's better than sex.
It might be better than. I mean, you are railing something.
That's a good one.
Does Ribbon Road? Ribbon Road does have anti-gravity, but it doesn't really play into the concept as hard as it could.
It does, but I don't think it needs to though. And I think that the whole wavy road thing, it also feels, I mean, I would argue that section is also maybe better than sex too. So like these are two very seductive Mario Kart tracks in their own right. I think it's Ribbon Road.
You like trains?
I like train, Donovan.
I like trains.
I like train. But I also like ribbon.
That train is kind of funny.
but I also like ribbon.
It'd be funny if we just called up people for the last.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck
the
it,
last
let's
few.
do it. Okay.
Gamer?
Oh, what's up, gamer? Okay, so you are live on the special hour right now. We have a very quick question.
Oh,
So this is
okay, what's it?
so this is funny because we're actually low key stealing your show right now. We're doing a bracket of the best Mario Kart tracks. And right now, me and Donovan are at a disagreement about what track should move on, and we need a third person to act as the tiebreaker. So would you be down to be the mediator here?
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. So what? I don't want you to give an explanation. I just want like your instant gut reaction to which
definitive answer.
Yes, to which of these two tracks is better. And I will warn you, I'm blaming this. If anyone in the comments is mad, I'm telling them it's Pat Nat's fault. Is that okay? All right, that's fine.
Good. Yeah,
all right.
I do the same thing.
GBA Ribbon Road, specifically the version in Mario Kart 8, versus Whistlestop Summit for Mario Kart World.
Ribbon.
There we go. All right.
I am 2 for 2 with these tiebreaker rounds. Thank you, Pat Nat. Everyone, Pat, do you want to tell people where to find you on YouTube if they want to check?
I'll just plug Bracket Breakdown where we talk about Mario Kart for the top Wii games of all time. You guys can check that out if you like this format.
Awesome. This is so I really hope my mic picks you up because I'm just holding my phone on speaker right now.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm hoping so too.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Your Honor, I didn't kill him. I didn't pull the trigger.
This has officially shifted from our ranking to just random fucking people.
Well, I think I have an answer for this final one. Wii Coconut Mall, this is the final round.
Yes.
The best Mario Kart course out of this random 16 that Mr. Dean selected.
Yeah.
Wii Coconut Mall and GBA Ribbon Road from Mario Kart 8. Well, now that we have chosen Ribbon Road, I gotta go Ribbon Road.
But I want to go Coconut Mall. No! Donovan, we need a tiebreaker.
It's better than sex. You didn't say that for Coconut Mall.
Well, it's implied. It literally has, Donovan, it has a nut in the name. Okay.
You don't crash through a supermarket in Coconut Mall.
Okay, how about we actually try to like make a decision? Because I don't want to get comments from people being like, Oh, well, you guys like didn't even.
Hey, I said ribbon. Okay, ribbon.
Yeah, but
We talked about its technicality. You said Coconut Mall has that too, but like Ribbon Road has peaks at every point. Coconut Mall, I talked about how its ending is not the most difficult, not the most engaging. I said maybe a flaw of Ribbon Road is that it doesn't utilize anti-gravity, but like who cares? And I said a flaw of Coconut Mall could be it doesn't maybe utilize the trick system, or I didn't even mention what was it called? Inward drifting?
It definitely does. You can definitely apply inside drifting on Coconut Mall.
Ribbon Road is a much more well-rounded course, and by well-rounded I mean like every point is an A tier or above. I think the ending's like a solid B tier.
Okay, fine, Ribbon Road.
It's a solid Ribbon Road as the number one Mario Kart course. I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, so with that being said, that was the most professional bracket you will ever find on the internet. Yeah, if you want us to do more brackets like this, feel free to let us know. You have any ideas for brackets we could do? We're open ears. And if we do it in the future, maybe I guess we'll try to like. But I feel like the outsider opinions was fun. No. Okay. In my defense, part of this was inspired by Hivemind, and they literally have someone on their show, like in the background, that acts as the tiebreaker whenever Riley and Grayson, I forgot his name, the other host, whenever they don't agree, they have a tiebreaker. So functionally, that's what we were doing. So I feel like it's fine. Okay, so Donovan, for the people that liked your voice or what you had to say, where can they find you on the internet?
I'm DonovanDud on YouTube. I'll make a video eventually. I'm just working. I'm on Discord, the Nintendo Boys. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. Where can we find Mr. Dean?
Yeah, so I am also on YouTube, MrDean44. Lots of Nintendo content. Like I said at the beginning, you can now find me on Reels and TikTok as well. And then I'm also on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, also TikTok. I'm on Twitter and also Blue Sky. And then I also have a Discord server called the Dean Kingdom. So feel free to join me there. Bye.
Bye.